Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. This is new to me. I know this is kind of like old in like the beauty community, but it's new to me and it took me ages to just get it to open because they have all of this like the sticker here and one at the bottom, and I understand why they have it. It's obviously to stop people from opening them in the store. Why is mine so dusty? It stops people from opening them in the store and swatching them and stuff like, ooh, but this is so pretty. And the good thing is I bought two, so this one here as well, this one's unopened, it's going in the giveaway pile. Don't forget, I'm going to be doing a huge giveaway at 1,000 subs. As of this recording, we are at 918. So just over 80 left and we'll be at 1,000. So I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. Now I tried to use the Walking on Eggshells palette before and I wasn't that impressed with it, and I'd heard nothing but good things about the Walking on Eggshells palette, and apparently like it's the new packaging, new formula kind of thing. So I don't know if all the good things that I'd heard were from like the old formula. I don't know. Oh sorry, I forgot to tell you, I had already primed my eyelids using, what did I use? What I always use, my Makeup Revolution concealer. Like my favorite concealer. It's the one that is the dupe for the Tarte concealer. I feel like this year is going crazy quickly. Like it's going so quick. It's unbelievable. Like we're in May and it's like how are we in May? I just feel like it was the other day we were celebrating New Year's. Well, I wasn't celebrating New Year's. I was in bed asleep. And when a few people asked me, oh, what did you do for New Year's? I was like, I slept. I was in bed when that clock went down to 0. I was in my bed and I did wake up because there were people letting off fireworks outside where I live. So I was like, thanks. So I peeked out my window and I watched some of the fireworks for about 5 or 10 minutes. But I kind of feel like I didn't really have a choice. Oh, so today you probably noticed, like for those of you who actually watch me on a regular basis, you probably noticed like you can't hear my kids in the background. That's because I've got the weekend for myself and I feel like it's well deserved. It's not often that my kids go away so that I can have a weekend for myself, but it's well deserved. It's so well deserved because even on the weekends they wake up super duper early and I just don't want to get out of my bed. There's a part of me that can't wait until the point where they're old enough to appreciate a lie-in, but unfortunately that's not the place that they're at right now. The thing is, like kids are known for getting up really early, but there's some people that I know and their kids who are basically around the same age as mine, not all of them, but they like to sleep in, and it's like, why can't mine sleep in? Like, please give me a break. I feel like that brown just took everything that I did with the red away. So now I'm gonna have to go back in with the red and put it all back. Because that brown was overtaking everything. Let's put some of that red back. With this palette, I kind of feel like the pigment is a lot better than the Walking on Eggshells one. Although, if you're not careful, things are gonna get muddy real quick. Ugh, okay, so there's a shade in here that I definitely want to use. It's this one here. I'm gonna pick it up on a flat brush. I'm just gonna spray it. And I kind of feel like even though I sprayed it, it didn't really do anything. So let's try it again. That's cute. But I didn't think that this shade was going to turn out this way. How it looks in the pan and how it looks on the eye, it's a little bit different. I have to be honest. Okay. With the shimmer, you've got to build it up, otherwise it's not going to stand out, unfortunately. So my work life right now, I'm trying to juggle so much right now. It's like my work, I kind of feel like every other week they're giving me a new job to do. Oh, I like that eyeshadow look. I actually really like that. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but I really like that. So I'm using the Revolution Blur Stick. I recently did a review on this. I'll leave that down below. But yeah, I feel like they're constantly giving me new work to do, like on top of the job that I'm currently doing. And it's becoming a lot, because even though I'm sitting down at my job, I feel like it's mentally draining. Like I've had physically draining jobs, and then I've had jobs where it's a good mixture of physical and mentally challenging, but I never felt drained at those kind of jobs because it was such a balance. But this is just like mentally draining sometimes. So when I come home and I have to film for YouTube and stuff, sometimes I just kind of feel like, oh, I'm so tired. But I gather the energy from somewhere, I don't know where, but I managed to gather the energy from somewhere so that I can do what I need to do. But on top of that, it's like my son, he has his own YouTube channel, and I've got to edit for him also. So it's shooting, editing, work, shooting, editing. And on top of that, I've got my own business as well, my Peach&Pearl brush brand. And I have to say thank you to everybody who is a viewer who has gone onto my website and purchased some of our brushes. Thank you. And any pictures that you have, like using our brushes, or pictures that you have taken of the brushes themselves, just tag me on them or tag me to them, and we'll repost it on our Instagram. But yeah, everything is moving and everything is growing steadily, and I definitely see like a change with everything. Like everything is steadily growing, and I can see how everything is just coming together, and that just makes me feel so good. And I feel so humbled, because it just shows that there's people out there who really do support what I'm doing. And not only will they watch the videos, but they also purchase the brushes, and they leave comments. And like all of you guys out there who do all of that, like thank you so much. Like thank you so much. Like you don't understand how much it means to me. It really does. And even though I said that, you know, right now I'm feeling so drained because I'm juggling so much stuff, it's all worth it. And without having to go through struggles and having to go through being drained and tired and all of that, without going through it, I'm not going to be able to appreciate all of the hard work that had to go into it in order for me to get to the other end. And that's why I said, like, when the YouTube changes were implemented, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to earn any more money off of YouTube until I fit their criteria. And even still, if you hit the 1,000 subs and get the 4,000 worth of watch time hours or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to accept you into their program. That's just to get your foot in the door. But if you are lucky enough to fit their program, then great. But that's why I said when the rules were implemented that either way, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop the graft, because this is something that I enjoy doing, something that I love doing. And why give it up when you know it's something that you enjoy, and there's so much more that you can accomplish from it than just being in the YouTube program. I think that's something that you kind of have to look at the broader picture. And for me, I see everything coming together slowly but surely. Oh my gosh. So every time I log into my Instagram, 9 times out of 10, Trend Mood is at the top. And I absolutely adore Trend Mood. That's where I think the majority of the the majority of the beauty community, like social media beauty community, finds out what the new releases are going to be, and a lot of us who do anti-hauls and the like weekly roundup of new releases, that's where we find the majority of the new releases, is on the Trend Mood Instagram page. But it's just kind of like, there's just always so much, like always so much. This brush sheds, like, can you see all those little hairs like ready to come out? And these always end up on my face. I love this brush, but it's falling apart. I probably need to buy another one because it is falling apart. And me, I'm the type, I will use something until the wheels fall off. I want my full money's worth. But yeah, there's always just like a ton of stuff posted on the Trend Mood Instagram, because brands are coming out with stuff left, right and center. Like for example, Kylie not long ago released the extended bronze palette, and then literally a couple of days later she was showing the Momager collection, and it was just kind of like, how did that happen so quickly? Like seriously. And I just feel like there's just so many brands coming out with stuff all the time, like Colourpop, and as I said, Kylie, just constantly coming out with stuff that makes it so difficult. Like as I mentioned, Colourpop, they came out with the Shayla collection, and I think it was like the week after they came out with that Fame palette, and it was like, give us a little bit of a chance to get acquainted with what, oh my god, look at all of these brushes. Okay, I'm gonna stop brushing my face. But give us a chance to get acquainted with the last release. Somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but I was watching a video and somebody was saying, listen, when it comes to Juvia's, I know I'm always talking about Juvia's, I love Juvia's. When it comes to Juvia's, they don't release one thing this week and then the next week they release something else, or the next week they give you a chance to get acquainted with that particular release. They give you a chance to play with it, to come up with looks, and to enjoy that particular palette or product or whatever. But they will wait good 2, maybe 3 months before releasing the next thing. They might preview the packaging, because that's something that they always do. They always preview their packaging, like this is going to be our new packaging. They show you how many pans is going to be inside, but the pan's always empty. And then everyone's like, oh, what's it going to be? What's it like? What colors is it going to be? And then people start to comment and say, it should be this, it should be that, it should be this color, that color, da, 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 da. And we're all just kind of like left in anticipation, like what is it going to be? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? And I think that's what adds value to a brand. It's the anticipation of what are they going to come out with next. Because I remember when Colourpop had their, was it Super Shock? Their Super Shock singles. They, at that point, when everyone was talking about the Super Shock singles, they didn't have any palettes. And everyone was saying, when are you going to come out with palettes? And then I remember they came out with, what was it? They came out with this like little box, and it had 3 or 4 of the single Super Shock shadows in it. So it was almost like a palette, but it wasn't. And then now, it's like, I can't tell you how many palettes. Oh my gosh, this is really pigmented. This is the Miss Cheek blush by Kleancolour in Apricot. This is just so pigmented. I think one of the reasons why is because I had broken this and I repressed it. And I didn't repress this with any alcohol. I literally just repressed it by hand. And I feel like this is even more pigmented than before it had broken. I don't know how that works, but that's just how I feel. And I've actually missed this blush, like it is so pretty. But yeah, but now I don't know how many palettes Colourpop has. I couldn't tell you how many they have. Like I said in one of my previous videos, there was a girl who was doing like her makeup collection. I love makeup collection videos. She was doing her makeup collection, or showing it, and she was like, this is my Colourpop palette section, and the amount of Colourpop palettes that she had was crazy. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts, and it was like, where have Colourpop come from with all of those palettes? But it's like they're just constantly releasing new palettes after new palettes after new palettes, and I don't think anyone can really keep up aside from that particular girl, because she, by the looks of it, has all of them. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to contour. Okay, so I'm gonna go on contour. I'm gonna do my eye wing and stuff like that, and then I will be back. Okay, so we're almost finished. I've done my contour, my eyeliner. Now I just want to do my inner corner, and I'm using this shimmery shade here, and I'm just going to spritz that just to be on the safe side. And I'm just gonna now I'm going to use my Matte Finish Fixing Spray by Barry M. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. So even though this wasn't really supposed to be a review, I think it's only fitting and only right that I tell you what I think of the Rosé in the Air palette. Now, number one, I think that this is a better palette than the Walking on Eggshells. I feel like I can get the pigment out of this palette, and with the Walking on Eggshells one, I had to really work. But I think one of the reasons why I had to work so much with the Walking on Eggshells one is because the color scheme is a lot different. It's a lot lighter. So for somebody who has my skin tone, it probably was not destined to show up on me as much. But these shades show up on me. But I think it's because these are deeper, darker, richer kind of shades. So these show up on me no problem. Like this brown here, as soon as I put that on the outer corner, it literally just took over, and I had to go back in with that reddish shade there so that I can put some more of that redness back into the look. I think overall it's come out looking a little bit more browny than reddy. And I mean, this shade here, this shimmer shade there, it looks a little bit different in the pan than it does on the eye. So I think that's another contributing factor as into why it looks more brown than red, but that's fine. One thing that I will say is that when I was doing my lower lash line, literally I didn't have to build up much of the color. It just swiped onto my lower lash line. I smoked it out a little bit so that it wasn't so blocky, and it just worked out perfectly. Now the reason why I mentioned that is because I find that when it comes to my lower lash line, I find it harder to put eyeshadows on my lower lashes, on my lower lash line. I don't know what it is, but I sometimes struggle. And what I'm finding is that it's not even the tools that I'm using, because I'm using the correct brushes to put it on. It really does depend on the eyeshadows themselves, and it just literally just glided on. I used a mixture of this red and this brownie red, so I kind of just dabbed into both of those and just smoked out the lower lash, and then on top of it I put a little bit of this brown so that it will be a little bit more cohesive to what was going on at the top. The inner corner, I had to kind of dab that quite a bit to make sure that it came off and was giving me that pop, but it's there. Like I can see that inner corner, no problem at all. That's another one of like my problem areas when it comes to doing my eyeshadow. My overall thoughts are, this is a nice palette for traveling. Like this is something that I would take if I was going like away for a weekend. This will be perfect, because those of you who know me, you know my travel rule. Don't take anything that you're not willing to have break, lose, or not be able to replace. If I broke it, I could replace it, so it's replaceable. If I lost it, I can replace it. It's not gonna break the bank, because I think it was like just under £5. So it fits all of the criteria. If it broke, it doesn't matter, it was only £5. If I lost it, it doesn't matter, I can get another one. It's not limited edition, as far as I know. I don't know. I don't think it's limited edition, but also it's a perfect size as well. So this isn't going to take up much space in my travel luggage if I wanted to travel with this. So yeah, that works out perfectly for me in that regard. Would I use this every single day? No, because I feel like I have better palettes that I can use on a daily basis. But at the same time, I think for somebody who's starting out in makeup, who wants a nicely pigmented palette, who doesn't want to break the bank, this is definitely worthwhile. This is definitely worth looking at and going for. And if it wasn't right for you, well, then you didn't spend a whole heap of money. You managed to get a palette, try and see whether or not it worked out, and if it doesn't, well, you didn't lose like 30-40 pounds like some palettes are. So as I mentioned, I do have a second one. This one will be going in the giveaway pile, along with the other Walking on Eggshells palette, and along with all of the other stuff that I've been gathering. As I said, we're going to be doing a huge giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. We're on 918 as of me recording this video. So I am so excited. There's going to be 2 winners, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and as soon as we hit 1,000 I will be doing the announcement. Anyway, so I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.